Welcome back. The National Research Institute Director, Dr. Charles Yala, has described the country's agribusiness system as a broken system. He says the small and medium enterprises are examples of a broken system from what responsible authorities discourage investors with their weak policies and systems. Dr. Yala is appealing to investors and business regulators to fix this system. Jacqueline Yala with this report.
The country's only think tank, the National Research Institute, today hosted a workshop and discussed the topic of turning research into action in agribusiness. Case studies were presented by representatives from the National Research Institute, Trukai Industries and Enga Provincial Administration on research done to promote agribusiness in the country. Agribusiness has a great potential in the country's economy, but in reality, it is negligible.
The system of government promoting not only agribusiness but all businesses is broken. These are man-made systems that are not functioning, is now not operating. In fact, as we speak, they are very good at producing phony schemes and scams.
Dr. Yala said one such scam is the small and medium enterprise.
Now, so often we look at the investors and we accuse the investors. No, it was our own lands department that facilitated these papers. A broken system in the department that produced those papers, which gave a false to the investors. We now turn around and spend money on inquiries, and yet we still have kept the investors in limbo.
He further gave the example on the recent Land Review Act,
which basically talks about the state buying more land from the customary landowners. They can't manage the 3%, so how are they going to manage the additional 20% that they want to buy? And that's depriving customary landowners, not empowering customary landowners to take ownership over their land. In the same Act review, they're talking about foreigners not owning state leases. Again, you are killing investment.
He said it is really a collaborative effort for everyone to fix all these problems. Agribusiness is a business in the agricultural sector. Therefore, important things to consider is that the land must be secured, has big space and reliable infrastructure such as good road link, electricity and many more before investors get in. Jacqueline Yala, NBC National News, Port Moresby.
The Pacific Judicial Conference hosted in Port Moresby is into its third day. The conference has created an avenue for judges and Chief Justice in the region to share experiences to improve the judiciary system in their respective countries. Esther Bralinwani reports.
Into its Lesson 9, the Chief Justices and judges attending the Pacific Judicial Conference were looking at judgment writing and oral delivery of quality judgments. Justice Berna Collier was the commentator in this session. She highlighted the importance of summarizing judgments for the benefit of all parties involved.
I must admit to a certain amount of cynicism and query how far into any judgment, irrespective how well or how simply written, any journalist will be prepared to read it. In 2016, where the breadth of available news sources means fierce competition, at the time that any journalist will have to digest any judgment must surely be short.
However, she says there are challenges involved in oral judgments.
For many of us, this is a challenge we do not like. I understand why. As Her Honour observed, in delivering an oral judgment, the judge is still required to explain the issue before the parties, the law or authority in which the court relied, and succinctly and clearly explain the court's analysis. You can't simply say yes or no if it's an oral judgment.
And also in the case of receiving judgments. Tomorrow will be the final day of the conference where they will complete Lesson 15. Esther Bralinwani, NBC National News, Port Moresby.
Another platform has been established to provide an avenue for students to test their vocabulary skills. Mstreet School Challenge is a program aimed at promoting literacy, self-expression and improving vocabulary skills for young Papua New Guineans in schools throughout the country. The challenge has attracted primary schools in NCD to participate in this extracurricular activity. Kevin Dayonga reports.
The importance of spelling has been questioned in recent times as word processing programs equipped with spell checkers, and some educational reformists have suggested that focusing on spelling holds back the creative processes of writing and that students will naturally develop spelling skills through reading. Nuagu Billy, a lecturer from the University of Papua New Guinea, describes this connection as learning to spell is one thing, but pronunciation is very important.
So the challenge here is that teachers, you have a lot of work to do, and in the whole of the vocabulary that's in spelling, in the usage of the word, in the pronunciation. Now remember, I didn't say pronunciation. You pronounce the words. Pronounce is the verb, and pronunciation is the noun.
He says spelling can and should be an integral part of language instruction for every student.
So what does this mean to us as teachers? This leaves a lot of room for hard work, for us to teach our students right pronunciations, right? So it's not just pronunciations, it's not just spelling, but the whole vocabulary, how the word is used in a sentence, in a context.
Vaninadis from Mstreet Holdings says this platform provided is to encourage school-age children to improve their vocabulary skills and self-expression.
We want to focus on literacy, back in the schools, because I believe that we have to do a lot of work in primary schools and secondary schools to boost the literacy level for all students. And we witnessed this during the competition, and a lot needs to be done. So this is the whole reason why this Mstreet School Challenge is focused around debate, poetry, and spelling competition.
She says technology is a powerful tool that can make learning easier. However, it can actually interfere with the learning process.
As you can see, like nowadays, people are more focused on, kids are more focused on mobile, and then they try to, shortcut the words, and, instead of spelling, CU, instead of saying SEEE, they say C in a short sentence. So we need to avoid that, and we need to go back to the schools and say, look, we have to do what's right, and we need to boost the literacy level and get the kids to read, because it is also very, very important.
The spelling bee competition started on Monday and has drawn interest from schools in NCD. It will end today with the seniors finalizing the competition.
ORDINARILY. Ordinarily.
That is correct.
Kevin Dayonga, NBC National News, Port Moresby.
It's not easy handing in a suspect voluntarily, especially by relatives to the police over any alleged case, whether it be death, robbery or something else. But for the tribes of Poika in Mount Gilue and Kumdiangapin in the Mulila Gs, it took extraordinary courage to do so by respecting the law. Jack Tame reports from Mount Hagen.
Among the leaders that have handed their suspects to the Western Highlands Provincial Police Commander, Chief Superintendent Martin Lakari, and other senior police officers was the president of Mount Gilue LLG, Michael Mai. Mr. Mai, who is also from the Poika tribe, said he felt privileged to hand the suspects to the police as responsible leader to show respect of the law and to promote the work of police so that a true justice and peace may prevail.
Now what the tribesmen we will not take law into our own hands. Go back. Now people are sacrificing to play young man come and you. That means we don't want problem. We want peace. And people like it. So now we sing out in Tupla suspect. By me hand him over and you. Now me feeling privileged now honored. Now hand him over Tupla suspect. Now provincial police commander. This is a privilege for me to hand over the suspect to the man himself, the chief superintendent, Martin Lakari.
In support of Mr. Mai, another Poika tribesman, Paul Pelgep, assured the Kanimba tribe that each tribe had finally resolved to hand the suspects to the police and also preferred to show respect at the community level too.
Incident in on have come up long and come up. But no yet was scaling wrong and right, and I am stop. So in the meantime, Tupla must go to the police, in which people are coming handing over to the suspect. So one time this let me talk, thank you, lo you block it up. Now sorry lo you or relative, lo mangi decision died. People are not naram the time, lo looking face. Well in this way, lo send them good. And by people like responsible and you vaccine. Long soy was a people immediate family. People like put him to the market long alabus. People like strategy by you will place. So that then but peace, meaningful peace by come up reality.
Meantime, on behalf of the DCC's Kanimbe tribe, John Beram responded that he accepted the kind decision made by the Poikes and praised them for showing responsible and a true tribal leadership in promoting peace and normalcy.
Doctor also me bringing peace again me accepting this land. Na passing away blow me black. Melanesian way him stop. But first thing you step in law first and me accept him.
Peter Pang, Peace and Good Order Committee member of DCC's Kumdi Engemai tribe, and Council Tom Rupulga of the suspects Kumdi Engepin tribe in the Mul LLG have also promised in front of the police that both tribes would respect the decision they made in ending in of the suspects and will work together to restore peace and normalcy as well. These young men are now in Mount Hiken police cell and will wait for their first court appearance. Jack Tame, NBC National News, Mount Hiken.
Stay with us on NBC National News.